So we found out yesterday that Season 11 Reign of Fire is going to start next Tuesday, February 7th, and the game is going to live stream some of what we can expect on Monday, February 6th. Therefore, in today's video, I wanted to go over a few recommendations that I have on things you want to work on between now and when Season 11 begins. What's up, my YouTube family? Welcome back to the Gaming Brigade, and as I said a moment ago, we have 1 week until Season 11 begins, and the game decided to extend Season 10 until that point. Now, for a lot of you out there, you may still have a few things you're trying to get before Season 11 starts, but today's video is about doing a few things in the game that may change when Season 11 drops. The game has not confirmed anything, but I wanted to pass along just my recommendations. Now, if you happen to be new here, feel free to hit that subscribe or join button. If you enjoyed this, you could hit that like button as well, and we are having a new giveaway, but I will go over those details at the end of the video. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is a General Anderson manhunt mission, and the fact that all of you know by now you get a guaranteed exotic to drop at the end of the mission regardless of your difficulty. Now, at this point, we have no idea if that is going to continue to be in the game after Season 10 ends, so right now if you're trying to get an exotic, if you're trying to get exotic components, it is one of the most efficient ways to get them in the game without a doubt. Now, a few things really quick. First of all, we're going to talk about targeted loot. And some of you are wondering how to change that. And all you need to do is hover over either Countdown or the Summit, and that will let you choose your targeted loot, which will link to the General Anderson mission. Because once you're in the General Anderson mission, you cannot change your targeted loot. And one more thing, and this is for those of you who have been asking, how do you get to replay the General Anderson mission over and over? You need to complete Season 10. You have to take out the 4 targets and the primary target as well. And once you do, you will then be able to farm this mission over and over again and get a guaranteed random exotic at the end of every attempt, regardless of your difficulty. Now, when it comes to the targeted loot that you pick, there are a few things to keep in mind. First of all, the targeted loot that you choose will not have an impact at all on the exotic that drops at the end. It is completely random, so make sure you set your targeted loot for something you actually may be farming for. And secondly, when it comes to your difficulty, yes, you can do this on normal to rip through it to get to that exotic at the end, but if you want to get decent gear throughout that route, you obviously want to run it on the highest difficulty that you can. Next, my friends, we're going to talk about targeted loot in the Dark Zone, as a lot of you have reached out to the channel with a bunch of different questions, so I want to cover them real quick. Now, this map you're looking at now is from today, Tuesday, January 31st. You can see that we have Tip of the Spear, the Rigger gear set, and Brazos in DZ South. Now, what that means is, when you get a piece of targeted loot to drop from an NPC you take out, it will not be contaminated, which means that once you pick it up, it is in your backpack, so even if you run into another agent, they go rogue, they steal your stuff, they cannot take those items because they're already in your inventory. Now, that also includes Dark Zone exclusives as well. So if you're in the DZ on a day where the SMG is the targeted loot and you get the apartment or the Dark Winter to drop, that is going to go right into your inventory. Same with the Emperor's knee pad, same with the Death Grip gloves. So again, as I've said multiple times, make sure you check your map on a daily basis, because we do not know if this is going to extend into Season 11 with the actual targeted loot not being contaminated. And one more thing I want to talk about the Dark Zone, and this has to do with raid exclusives. And all of you know this by now, but when Season 11 begins next week, you will be able to farm for the Eagle Bearer, the Ravenous, and the Bighorn in the Dark Zone. But to be clear, those will always be contaminated no matter what. You will need to extract with them, so regardless of the targeted loot, that doesn't matter. Those 3 items will always be contaminated. One final thing to bring up is the Chill Out Mask is still available to farm for the next week as well. They also extended the holiday event. Now, last week I put out a video, actually it was titled 1 Week Left. Clearly that's not the case because everything was extended, but it shows you some of my favorite spots to farm for the Chill Out. I will leave a link to that video in the description down below. And if you don't know as yet, it's a mask you definitely want to get. It has not only a gear set bonus, but 2 mod slots, so it is definitely worth your time on trying to pick up. Now that's pretty much going to do it for my recommendations on things to do over the next week or things to focus on. And at this point, I want to talk about farming, but for those of you that are done listing, thank you for being here. You can totally bail. Now, when it comes to farming in this game and how I approach it, and the reason why I'm bringing this up is that for a lot of you out there, including myself, there are sessions where you just do not get a thing that you're looking for no matter what. And the way I play this game is two ways. First of all, and you're going to see this in this footage as I'm trying to get a chill out mask to drop today, if I'm focusing on one thing, that's all I do for a good 30-40 minutes straight. I will focus on trying to get a certain item, and if I do not get it, I move on to something else. Because in my opinion, that is the easiest way to get burnt out in this game. When you're trying to get something, it's not happening, it's making you crazy, it makes you want to completely stop the game, especially because we really haven't had any new content for the longest time. However, in between those sessions, that's when I just play the game and enjoy it. And my friends, that is the most important thing. Use the shepherding system, jump in, try to help other people get other things. And also make sure you use the matchmaking system and call for backup, because one of the good things about the life cycle of this game, or where it is now, is that you have so many agents out there that truly want to help you farm for things in this game, which really, in my opinion, is what separates this game from so many others out there. So in the comments section down below, if you're looking for help, leave your gamer tag, your platform, and I'm sure someone will reach out and try to help you out. The other thing I'd like to address really quick, and these are comments I get when I put together videos, how to get the bighorn, how to get, let's say, the memento backpack, things like that, is what you're doing is you're seeing the end result of my farming for a very long time. Now, there are some times, like I get very lucky on one of my first attempts of the day I happen to get it, but what you're not seeing is the 60, 70, 80 attempts that I did before that to actually get the item to drop. So again, two ways to play this game. If you're farming, that's what you're hyper-focused on, a certain item, and when you're not, just enjoy the game, have fun, and hopefully you'll get lucky as you're cruising along. With all that being said, I'm going to start to wrap this up. Now, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, we are currently having a new giveaway at the channel. It is for a PlayStation 5, and all you need to do to enter is either subscribe here or follow on Twitter, and the winner will be announced May 4th of this year. As I mentioned a moment ago, I'm going to leave you with some gameplay footage of my farming for the Chill Out mask from the Loot Goblin this morning. It took me about 10 minutes to finally get one to drop. You're going to see it in this footage, and as always, I want to thank you all for the incredible support you continue to show this channel, and remind you, if you happen to be new here, feel free to hit that subscribe or join button. If you enjoyed this, you could hit that like button as well, but most importantly, take care of yourselves, be kind to each other, and we will talk to you soon. Thanks again, everyone.
Safe area entered.
Let's see what he's got.
Safe area detected. Civilians in danger. Entering safe area.